as John mentioned, in 2000, we had the side collision warning system for transit buses. So I joined in 1999 the NavLab, and for this particular project. And one of the things we were working on, or one part which I was working on, is we wanted to know where the sidewalk is, because for transit buses, like if people are on the sidewalk, they might be very close to the bus, but if they're on the sidewalk, they're safe, right? Or they're usually safe. So we wanted to see where the sidewalk is. So I developed, of course, with John's help, what we call a laser line striper. So it has a camera and a laser line, and it can then see the profile, and then we use that to detect the sidewalk or the curb, so we know where the sidewalk starts. And so I did research on that, and then in 2009 is when Traffic 21 started. And so they, gave out a call and said, hey, you guys, do you know anything? Can you do anything which can be applied now? Not in 10, 20 years, but now. And I thought, well, this little line striper, maybe we can use that not just to look at the curb, but also at potholes. So, instead of pointing it to the side to look at the curb, I pointed in the front to look for potholes, and so my first test was with that sensor, and I could see yes I can take stripes, I can do a 3D profile of the potholes, and then during that time also smartphones came out and became very popular. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be possible, instead of using this line striper, to use a smartphone? It would be interesting, because in a smartphone you might also see cracks, and it's so much less expensive, and it's already on the market. You can buy it, and it's very easy to mount. Just take the smartphone, connect it to the 12 volts of the car, take a suction cup, mount it. That's it. No calibration, no fancy lasers and so on. And so I said, let's see if we can detect cracks and potholes with that. And at that time, computer vision wasn't that as good as today, and it wasn't clear if that's possible, or if it's going to be good enough. So I got a master's student, and this master's student did his master thesis on this topic to see, and so he used classical computer vision algorithms, and basically showed yes, it's possible to take an image and then look at patches and then see if there's cracks in there, and then you can score it. And so and he wrote a paper about it, where he showed, yeah, it's possible to use computer vision to score the roads and see how many cracks there are. And so then we started hearing from people, like industry people, so oh, this is great. Can you do it as a service? And of course, CMU itself cannot do it as a service. We do research, but we don't do service. And I thought back and forth, should I just open source it and anybody can use it? But then me and my group are the only ones who really know the software. And so then Traffic 21, and they started pushing me a little bit and saying, hey, don't you want to try and do a startup? So then I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do that, and I'm a researcher, I'm not a business person. So someone at Traffic 21 helped me, and we talked to various people, who did startups. We went to the tech transfer office, and talked to people there, and how all the regulations are and all the processes are at CMU. So, and so finally, I was able to. It was at the end 4 of us who got together. Some people outside from CMU who said, okay, let's start the company. So they were outside from CMU. They were good at startups and so we did the what is called like 6% and go in peace method, where so we started the company, we founded the company, and then licensed the technology from CMU. And it's like they take like 6% of the company and then give the company the license. And so we, started from zero and, started calling people who had anything to do with our research, I think North Huntington was one. We called them, and because we have worked with them before, and said, do you want to, would you want this as a product? And I think they were the first one, our first customers. I mean, the first or second customer. So we were all happy about it, and and then it took off. I mean, so we then found some funding. So as it's some seed funding to get it off the ground, and then a larger rounds of funding, and up to now. So the funding, the founding of the company was in 2016. So we just hit our 5-year anniversary. We raised a little bit over $11 million. We have more than 200 customers. We have some worldwide. Most of them, of course, are in the United States, but we have worldwide customers. We're expanding, also not just doing road analysis, but also that you can put any kind of objects, detect any kind of objects, traffic signs or manholes or fire hydrants, and put it in the map, and then also do some managing of these, so you can say, okay, this needs to be repaired, or assign it to some person. At the beginning, we had most of our customers were like direct cities or municipalities or townships or so on, and now we're more working with partners like engineering firms. So because they already have a lot of contact with the cities and with the so that makes things easier. But so we're still growing and seeing where all this leads to.